is Judge Judy.
All parties on Moriarty versus Peter Fay. Step forward, please.
28-year-old student pilot Elliot Moriarty claims flight instructor Laszlo Peterfay is responsible for his plane running out of gas, forcing him to land on a California freeway. Elliot says he now suffers from fear of flying.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 648 on the calendar in the matter of Moriarty versus Peter Fay. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Mr. Moriarty, I really, after all these years on the bench, thought that I had seen everything till I read your complaint. You were taking flying lessons.
Yes, Your Honor.
From him?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long did you take flying lessons from him?
I believe it was approximately 3 months.
Had you taken flying lessons from anyone else?
Not flying lessons, but a thrill ride at Torrance Airport.
What?
A thrill ride.
Thrill ride?
Right.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm an assistant manager.
What kind of company?
A restaurant.
You get to the restaurant by driving your car?
Bike.
You don't have a car?
No, Your Honor.
How old are you?
28 now.
So you were taking flying lessons, and then there came a time when you were flying solo, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you ran out of gas.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you landed on a freeway.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're suing him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you can explain that to me.
The explanation is this, Your Honor, that upon my entire training, I was never trained or taught on how to fuel an airplane. It's not like a car. I've asked him one time before, how do you fuel up? He told me, don't worry about it now, I'll show you later.
Fuel up. Now, what do you have to do to fuel up? When you're driving a car, you pull into either one of two lanes. Either it says full service, the one that I like, or self-service, the one that I don't understand at all. And then you get out, and I've seen people, they open up the thing, and they put the thing in the thing, and you fill up your car with gas.
I understand.
Does it work the same way with a plane?
No, Your Honor.
Do you put the gas in the plane?
No, Your Honor.
So somebody else puts the gas in a plane?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you go to a plane gasoline station.
No, what happens is, I guess you call somebody, either a frequency or by phone,
yes.
And I was never included in...
Shh. You don't want me to think you're stupid, do you? So just answer my question. Periodically, a plane needs gasoline because it doesn't fly on dreams.
Right.
Now, is there a gauge in the plane that it says fuel?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
And it has a little stick? Because I know about that stick. With the cars today, they even talk to you. You're out of gas, you're out of gas. But I assume that they don't have that in planes. They have a gauge. You do know how to look at the gauge.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when it starts to get on empty,
well, I
then
give you the explanation.
Then you'd say to yourself, I think I need gas.
Well, here it is, Your Honor. Upon my solo cross-country, I have to perform a dual cross-country. Throughout that dual cross-country, we did not fuel up at Santa Barbara or Santa Ynez, which...
So just a second. You went together
yes.
on a dual cross-country.
Beforehand.
Before you went solo.
Yes, Your Honor.
And during that trip, you didn't fuel.
No, Your Honor. We fueled up at Van Nuys, and when I made my flight plan, I put 4.5 hours, which is a direct reflection of a full tank for the type of aircraft I was flying. Now, his job as an instructor is to review my flight plan and to make sure there's no mistakes on it whatsoever. Upon his evaluation of my reviewing my flight plan, he just, I don't know, totally missed it. And we together went down, did a check, checked the airplane. I checked the fuel on the wings to make sure that it corresponds with the amount of fuel on the needle, which was approximately, if I remember correctly, about 2/3. I told him what it was in there. It was fine with him. So I'm the student, and he's the instructor. If it's fine with him, I felt, okay, then his judgment is correct.
Before I got in a plane, there'd be a full tank of gas, that's for sure. I mean, if I were ever stupid enough to get in a plane unless I had to go someplace.
Right, but he was totally aware of how much fuel I had. He didn't say anything about it.
You have no responsibility for this. I understand from here, from your papers, that you have footage of you landing on the freeway?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm dying to see that.
Very lucky, Your Honor.
Look at that plane. Looks like something you put together with those little sticks. You know? One fits in, you know what I'm talking about, Bert? Remember those things we used to have as kids? Put balsam wood.
That's right.
Right? Flat thing, and you put one in the other, and you rubber band, and you
Glider,
go.
little glider.
Wouldn't trust my life to one of those things.
Your Honor?
What?
Okay, well, first of all, see, all this started over him refusing to pay me my unused fee. After the incident, I basically induced naturally this fear of flying. I discontinued it.
So is this what it's about? You discontinued your flying, and you want your money back for what you didn't use?
Let me clarify that really good. Okay, when I discontinued, I wanted the remainder of my unused fees.
Right.
Now, he sent me a check the first time for $90.
How much do you think it is?
$147 and...
$147.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So why are you suing him for $3,100?
That's what I would like to get into. This basically escalated up to this point because when he decided to keep my money, as if that wasn't enough experience for me, it made me rethink everything over again. And this is what I concluded that, okay, I ran out of fuel, I landed on the freeway. Okay, whose fault is it? Was it really my fault, or was it his fault? When I rethought everything over, throughout my training, I've been given inadequate training and lack of supervision. His lack of supervision is not reviewing my flight plan correctly, as he is responsible to do so by the federal aviation regulations. And in one of his letters, he stated to me, without dispute, he will refund my money back. As of to date, he has not.
Refund how much money?
The $147.
Fine, I have no problem with giving you back your $147. I have a problem with $3,100.
Well, if I can
you don't
establish...
if you don't like, sir, the kind of instruction that you're getting from a pilot, then you say, I'm not satisfied with the quality of the training that you're giving me. What you're saying to me is a 28-year-old man who lands his plane on a freeway and walks away without a scratch, instead of getting down on the floor and thanking God that you landed on the freeway, decided to sue somebody. That's America.
No, Your Honor.
That's America. Not only decide to sue him for the remainder of your outstanding fees that you had already prepaid, that even I could understand, but sue him for everything else, because we're a country of a lot of navel gazers. You know, you sit down here and say, now let me see, $147, but I really think that he gave me a fear of flying, and he didn't train me right all the 3 months I was a student, and you had a lot of time to think about it. You're lucky you weren't thinking about it with all of your appendages in casts. It would be ridiculous.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When you wrote him the letter, you should have said, here's the check for $147. I'm very sorry you're not using my services anymore. Goodbye and good luck. And next time, try an airport.
And later today,
You used her library card and you took out 23 books. And then she starts getting billed for $1,000 because you didn't return the books. Baloney.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elliot Moriarty says his flight instructor, Laszlo Peterfey, is responsible for his plane running out of gas, forcing him to land on a California freeway. Laszlo is countersuing for loss of work.
Now, let's get to your ridiculous counterclaim. You want to tell me about it, or you just want to say, I'm sorry, I'm withdrawing it?
Actually, no, ma'am.
All right, so now I'm ready for you.
The counterclaim is I wrote Mr. Moriarty a letter stating that I don't want to dispute the $147. And several days after this, I got a letter from the FAA. And based on the information that Mr. Moriarty provided the FAA, they wrote me a letter saying that if I don't respond within 10 days, my pilot certificates will be suspended. Mm-hmm. My livelihood is flying. So this jeopardized my career.
But they did not remove your certification.
Well, I had to go for a re-examination.
Just a second. You had a hearing and had to go for a recertification. Is that right? Now, what you're suggesting, sir, is that he does not have the right to complain about what he believes is inadequate training to the appropriate authority, which in this case was the FAA. Well, the First Amendment to the Constitution says you can complain to anybody about anybody else as long as you are not doing it out of malice. And I believe that even though he's wrong, he believes, after looking at his belly button for a long time, that you didn't give him adequate training, because if you had given him adequate training, he wouldn't have taken off in a plane that didn't have a full tank of gas.
Well, I can prove that I gave him adequate training.
Listen to me. He says he showed you the flight plan when he was going solo, that there was 3/4 of a tank of gas there, and he says he landed on the freeway. All right? So he said he didn't get adequate training. He's allowed to complain to you. I am not going to give him $3,100 that he's asking for, because as far as I'm concerned, he's a grown man, and a grown man who drives a car and who drives a plane ought to know that when the needle goes to empty, you got to get gas. So I'm going to give him his $147, and I tell you, sir, that it would have been wiser for you, instead of responding to him and saying to him, I will not dispute your $147, when you wrote him the letter, should have sent him a check. Should have said, here's the check for $147. I'm very sorry you're not using my services anymore. Goodbye and good luck. And next time, try an airport.
Your Honor. Your Honor, I have a witness here who is a certified flight instructor. He also has an airline transport pilot rating. He has come to me on his own because he evaluated me, and he would like to provide some expert testimony on
About
my training.
what?
About my inadequate training and lack of supervision I was provided.
Listen to me. Do you tap dance?
No, Your Honor.
If you take tap dancing lessons and you don't like the instructor, then you don't use the instructor, you go someplace else.
Your Honor, but when I'm the student, how do I know if I'm being provided with good training?
You mean
or not?
you had to land on the freeway to figure out that you weren't getting good training? Come on.
No,
Wake up, start taking some response. I mean, you have to laugh at this.
No, Your Honor.
Do you have to laugh at this?
Yeah, there's some things that are missing, though.
There are things that are missing there.
There are
One
holes
thing
in
that are
my
missing are
training.
your eyes. Just a second. One thing that are missing are your eyes. If you're a big enough boy to get behind the wheel of a plane and you're riding along and it starts to turn on empty, what you do is you pick up a phone and you say, help. You know, you don't fly until you fly all the way on empty. You know, how many of us have driven with our husbands and we say, it's on empty. Don't tell me it's on empty. I have plenty of gas.
But Your Honor, there's
Right?
clear violations here.
I suggest you stay on your bike. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $147. Counterclaim.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
There's two things I knew. I knew at what age I'm gonna die, and I knew how I was gonna die.
He flew over 10 airports where he had a chance to fuel. I also told him to fuel during the flight.
He reminded me about refueling in Santa Barbara. Before I left on my solo, he reminded me again to refuel in Santa Barbara. Duh.
I don't know, I mean, there's basically pirates in the sea. I never met a pirate in the sky before.
And now the next case.
All parties on Besesden versus Barajas Beckley. Step forward, please.
22-year-old newspaper reporter Victoria Bessedin claims 21-year-olds Rosie Barajas and Minta Beckley used her library card to check out 23 books. They didn't return them, leaving Victoria with a $1,000 library fine.
Miss Besettin, did you go to college?
I just finished.
Where did you go to college?
Cal State University, San Bernardino.
And you ladies go to school?
Not right now.
Well, you did a while ago, is
Yeah.
that right? Where were you going to school?
San Bernardino Valley College?
And you?
San Bernardino Valley College.
For some reason, these two ladies wanted to use your library
Yes.
in your school.
Yes.
And you could take books out. Take your hands out of your pockets. And you could take books out of your library. These young ladies said, could we take some books out on your card? You said, okay.
That is not what happened.
Fine, tell me what happened.
Okay, we had a report to do for a class. What happened was that we were all friends at the time. She knew we had a report to do. She offered her library card because we could not find the books in our library. She offered for us to use her library card.
So that's come close. She offered or you asked, whatever it was, it doesn't make any difference. You used her library card and you took out 23 books. And then she starts getting billed for $1,000 because you didn't return the books.
We did return the books.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can understand maybe one book turning up missing, but for all 23 books to turn up missing, there lacks statistical probability for that. You know, you're looking at me smiling like an idiot. You know that.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Victoria Bessedin loaned her library card to Rosie Barajas and Minta Beckley. They checked out 23 books and didn't return them. Victoria wants her $1,000 library fine paid.
tell me how you returned the books?
What happened was the books had not been turned in. She was notified. She called me. I think the books had been due like 3 days before. I remember that I had not turned in the books. Called her, and it was during the evening. We did not turn in the books that same day that she called me, but we did go the next day to turn them in. I had called her to tell her that if she wanted me to take the books to her, she can turn them in. She said,
why should she do that? You used the books.
Because
why should she carry back 23 books to the library that you used?
I just said if she wanted to turn them in or does she want me to turn them in.
So you didn't turn them in for 3 days. Is that right?
Yeah, it was, well, 4 days because it was the next day.
Now, when you turned them in, where did you turn them in?
Into a box. A drop box.
Baloney. You want me to tell you why it's baloney? Because I can understand maybe 1 book turning up missing, maybe 2 books turning up missing. But for all 23 books to turn up missing, there lacks statistical probability for that if you return the books. So you didn't return the books.
We did return the books.
Even if you say you returned the books, this bill is your responsibility, not hers. She didn't take them out. She didn't use them. She didn't return them late. You did. Why should she have to pay?
It was her library card.
What?
And we did
Just a
turn
second. Say that one more time for me. One more time, because it's her library card?
And we did turn in the books. It's not our fault that the library does say that we did not turn the books in.
I just said to you, I'm assuming for the purpose of this that you did return the books, which you did not. But assuming that you did, and assuming that the library lost them, but she not only received a bill for them, but according to you, you couldn't get your diploma. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? Why should she suffer because of the fact that you took out these books? Did you report from them? You used them? You did not act responsibly in not returning them on time? You know, you're looking at me smiling like an idiot. You know that. How much did this cost you in the library?
$1,000.70, Your Honor. And that's just for the cost of the books, replacing them, and the overdue fees. I'm not asking for anything more. I had to go to college an extra term. I'm not asking to get that money refunded.
I want to tell you something. If you did, I might have given it to you because I know what happens. Exactly. Let me see the letters from the library.
Yes.
Fools.
That's the original one. That's the current one.
Two fools.
The pink one, Your Honor, is the current list that shows that the books have still not been found as of almost 2 years ago.
Did you ever get your diploma?
No, ma'am. And I'm trying to apply to my master's program at Cal State Fullerton, and I can't
Is the reason that you can't get your degree because of the outstanding books?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
When she told you that she was having this problem, what did you say to her?
We had agreed to go to the library together to talk about this twice. She would always change the date.
Why didn't you just go to the library?
I did go to the library once.
And what happened?
And they told me that I needed to know exactly the books, and I had no way of contacting her to know what, because they needed to know the titles of the books so they can look for them.
How would she know the titles? You used the books.
Well, how would I know them? There are 23 books. I know what they were about, but I didn't know the title.
How would she know the titles if you took out the books? You had them.
Because they were under her library card, so it would show up on there what books were checked out.
You have to be a little more diligent, madam. I know that you have a very busy schedule here. I can see that you have a very busy schedule, but you have to be more diligent. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000.70. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Is Judge Judy.
All parties on Titus versus Zaris. Step forward, please.
41-year-old paralegal Tracy Titus is suing her former fiancé, 42-year-old shoe salesman Eugene Zaris, for half the cost of their canceled wedding and for assault and false arrest. He says Tracy came at him with a knife.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 658 on the calendar in the matter of Titus versus Zaris. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Titus, you are suing the defendant over two things. He was your former fiancé.
Yes.
You were planning to be married. That didn't happen. You want to be compensated for half of the amount that you spent towards planning the wedding.
Correct.
And the other part of your lawsuit, which is the main part of your lawsuit, is for having you falsely arrested, which caused you to spend some 3 nights in jail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's start with the wedding first, because I think that that's probably the easiest part of the lawsuit. How long were you planning this wedding?
I started planning the wedding in April of 1998, and I canceled the wedding right after the incident in October of 1998.
And that was your arrangement, that you were going to be married, and you understood that these wedding plans were going forward?
Yes, they were.
Okay. How much did you spend towards the wedding?
I spent $368.05 for the ring. I spent $49.80 for the shoes, $535.98 for the dress.
Okay. Do you want to keep this ring?
Sure, I'll keep it.
Okay, so let's take off the ring. Okay, would you add that up? Divide it in half, please.
And $250 for the church non-refundable deposit. There's also an additional $130 for marriage counseling that I paid for.
$482.50.
$482.50, a half of your out-of-pocket expenses for the wedding. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have a problem with that, sir?
Well, no.
Okay. Now let's get to this false arrest. How did that come about?
We had gone to an appointment that morning on Monday, October 19th, 1998. We had got into an argument after that. He wanted to talk about it. I said, no, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to go home. We got into the car. He grabbed my keys and took my keys away from me and said, we are going to talk about it. And he hit me. I said, no, we are not.
Where did he hit
That's
you?
incorrect.
Shh, shh. Where did he hit you?
He hit me in the chest.
Madam, you didn't say that in your answer. That would have been a very important thing for you to say. Don't make things up as you go along. Let's go. Let's finish it.
He would not get out of the car. I did not want him going with me. He refused to get out of the car. I drove home. I dropped him off outside, and then I left. And I returned home approximately between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. When I came in, I took his key ring, and I took what I thought was my car key off of his key ring. And I put his key ring back down where it was. I went into the bedroom. He was laying down. I decided I was going to lay down. He got up and he left, and when he did, I locked the bedroom door. And then later in the evening, I realized that I had taken his key off the key ring instead of my own. A little while later, he had gone into the bathroom. So I went, I got his key ring to take my key off of his key ring. I set his key on the kitchen counter, which he saw. I went to the drawer. I took out a butter knife, which is this, and I put the butter knife in my hand to pry the key ring apart. And I had it like this. This is what I was doing. He said, give me back my key ring. I said, I will in just a minute. I'm just taking my key off your key ring. I walked into the bedroom. I asked him to get the stuff that he needed for work the next day and take it out of the bedroom because I'd prefer that he not be in there. And he started to do that, and then he got mad, and he lunged after me, and I ran into the bathroom, and I locked the door. I was sitting on the floor up against the bathroom door. He was pushing it, and I got it pushed, and I locked it.
Where are his car keys at this point?
They were in my hand.
So you still had his car keys?
Right. I was still trying to get the key off the key ring. And he threatened to kick the bathroom door in.
Because you had his keys?
Because I
Had
had his key ring, but I actually did not have his car keys. I came out of the bathroom. I had his car keys, and I had my key and the knife exactly like this in my hand, and I was just holding them. He grabbed his keys. He knocked me down. He took his hand and he whammed me like this. He knocked me into the closet door, knocking the closet door off the track. He grabbed the knife out of my hand this way, and he threw it across the room to the other side of the bedroom over by the window. And he screamed at me, don't you ever threaten me with a knife. He then took his arm like this. He had me on the floor, and he pushed on me like this on my throat, choking me. I wiggled around. I tried to get him off. I pushed him off. He backed up. I got up. I jumped across the bed, picked up the phone. I said, you're going to jail. Nobody's hitting me. I called 911. I was talking to the dispatcher. He kept coming at me. I kept telling him to stay away from me, get away from me. I started to walk out of the bedroom. He went over to my drawer where he knew I kept my money, and he was going to take my money, only it wasn't there anymore. I had already taken it out earlier in the day. So then he starts to get my son's money, and I told him that was a pretty low thing to do. I walked out of the bedroom door. I was going to go out the front door, and he ran from the bedroom to the living room next to the front door where I was standing. When I saw him running at me, I ducked like that, and I leaned across the sofa. He came up on top of me. He pulled me up. He hit me again. He took his right arm and he put me in a chokehold like this. He flipped me over, slammed my head onto the floor, and was hitting me. I started kicking my feet to try and get him to loosen the grip around my neck because I could not breathe at all. He got up finally, and he backed away, and then he came at me again, and I kicked my foot in that direction to keep him from charging me again. He backed up. I ran out the front door. I still had my car key in my hand. I got in my car, I locked the doors, and he started bringing stuff out of the apartment and putting it in his truck like he was going to leave, so I pulled my car behind his truck so that he could not leave before the police got there.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
She did. She hit me, picked up a shoe, and she hit me in the back of the head with a shoe. That's where the confrontation took place, in the living room. She's violent.
And later today,
What were you arrested for?
Trafficking, cocaine, they stopped us and found them.
Oy.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tracy Titus is suing former fiancé Eugene Zaris for half the cost of their canceled wedding and for assault. He says Tracy threatened him with a knife.
Let's hear your side of the story.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, I'd kind of like to talk a little bit about the appointment. She was there to see her therapist that she's had for over 8 years. And I was invited to come into the session with her and to talk to her about her drinking and her suicide attempts. And in the conversation, she shut down, wouldn't talk to me at all. Her therapist wanted her to attend some Alcoholics Anonymous classes because she would get angry and she would get in the car, she would take off, she'd drive at high speeds, reckless speeds, and would get drunk. And then call me on the phone and tell me on her cell phone that she was going to commit suicide. She
Okay,
said
so that's why you were there at the therapist.
Right. So what happened was she got angry. She got very upset about this. She turned on me in the car and hit me, grabbing for the keys, calling me every name in the book. Now, I knew that she was going to have a tendency to drive reckless. So I held on to the keys and I told her, you need to calm down, we need to talk about this. She did not want to do that. She yelled and screamed and hit me. I got out of the car, I walked down to the corner with the keys in my hand to try to take a break from this and hope that she would calm down and think about it. When I came back to the car, she was not going to cooperate. I had no money, I had no way else to get home. So I took a chance. She started the car up, she took off, she was driving 100 miles an hour down the freeway. I told her that if she does not calm down, if she does not slow down, I will call the police. She wouldn't even slow down until I started dialing a number and waiting for the 911 to come on board. Anyway, I was so happy just to get home in one piece. I was scared to death. When I got into the house, she split. And I did wake up to find out that I did not have the keys to my vehicle. She had them. She had mistaken her key for my key. So she did have that. And when I tried to help her get the keys off the thing, when she had the knife, she did run into the bathroom. She did close herself in the bathroom, and I wanted her to give me my key. And I didn't know it was on the counter. When I was in the drawer, and I knew that if I opened the drawer where she had kept the money, she would come out. So that was my way to get her out. And then the scuffle occurred. She came with me. She had the knife. I flipped her around. I took her down. I restrained her. That's what happened. The police came. I have the police report right here. This explains what happened that night. She was in the hospital, and then her friends called me to tell me not to press charges.
Okay, you dropped the charges, whatever.
I did drop the charge. I did not pursue it because I know that she needs to get some help.
Okay, let me just read what the police officer says in his narrative. Did she hit you on the back of the head with a shoe?
Yep.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Because it's not true.
It is true. It's my turn to talk, okay?
I'm not talking to you.
She did. She hit me, picked up a shoe, and she hit me in the back of the head with a shoe. That's where the confrontation took place, in the living room. She's violent.
Shh. I'm going to deal with your part of the claim right now that deals with false arrest. In your complaint, you are suing him for false arrest. And I'm referring specifically to one line in the police report. The officer reports as follows, and they refer in the report to the defendant, Mr. Zaras, as the victim. That's him. Did not want Titus arrested. That's what the officer says in his report. He said, Zaras, he said that there have never been any incidents of domestic violence while they lived together. Okay? So he did not cause you to be arrested, madam. He did not cause you to be arrested. The two officers at the scene made a judgment that they were required under the current laws in this jurisdiction to effectuate an arrest.
I realize that it was the officers that made the decision, but it was based on his statement.
I don't find anything in the narrative that he gave to the police officers, madam, inconsistent with what probably happened that day. So your lawsuit with regard to a false arrest is dismissed. I'm giving you one half of the expenses for the wedding, $482 judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He wouldn't know the truth if I bit him in the butt. He's a car salesman, he always will be, and he knows nothing about the truth. He is a liar.
I think that she needs to get some help. And I don't think it's fair to incarcerate somebody for that incident when I think that therapy is probably a better solution.
They took me to jail. They took me to the city jail, then they took me to the county jail. I was strip searched. I was searched in places that I didn't even know you could hide anything.
And now the next case.
All parties on Peterson versus White. Step forward, please.
17-year-old secretary Jessica Peterson is suing her boyfriend's ex, 24-year-old bank teller Keisha White, for keeping her possessions after she was released from prison.
All right, Miss Peterson, let me understand this lawsuit,
Yes.
which is kind of strange. You and your boyfriend were arrested for trafficking in narcotics, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your boyfriend's still in jail.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant used to be the girlfriend of your boyfriend,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you have 2 children with him,
Yes, Your Honor.
never married to him.
No.
You claim that when the boyfriend and you were incarcerated, she went and took the property from the house that you were sharing with the boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
What were you arrested for?
Trafficking cocaine. They stopped us and found us.
How much?
About 3 ounces.
Did he go to trial yet in his case?
Mm-mm.
He's in jail right now. He's got 5 years sentenced for another charge, and he goes to court in April for that, for the trafficking cocaine.
Your trial is not pending.
No, I've already pled guilty. It's over.
Oy.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
We're going to get her a copy of my second book. Beauty Fades, Dumb as Forever.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Jessica Peterson is suing her boyfriend's ex, Keisha White, for keeping her things after she was released from prison.
What stuff do you claim she has that belongs to you?
Okay, all of it is both of ours. We got it together within our relationship. A TV, a VCR, the 2 gold chains that she has are his, and then a face to the CD player of a car.
Miss Peterson, how long were you with this character?
A year and a half, as of today.
And were you working during that time?
No, ma'am.
Well, if you weren't working during that time, then you had absolutely no way of putting together any money to buy this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that I don't see how you can claim that any of this stuff was yours.
But we did buy it. I mean, I still had money even though I wasn't working.
You have a trust fund?
No. I just had money.
Now, you say you have a release for this stuff?
Yes, I have that release that he released to jail to my witness, Troy Osborne. He went and picked it up, and we both went to Thrifty Rental Truck and got the stuff, his stuff.
Brian Quintano. Are you Troy?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up here, please. This is the most inartfully written thing that I ever saw. Miss Peterson.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's understand this so that we're perfectly clear. I don't like to have to be in a position of turning over property to somebody when I know that that property was purchased with drug money. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am, I understand. But
very good. Very good. Because I don't intend to have anybody who is culpable, that means guilty, profit from drug money. Clearly, you contributed not a sou to this from any legitimate source.
But it doesn't give her the right to keep stuff that does not belong to her either.
I have
well,
his
just a
two
second.
children.
Just a second. Just a second. Well, so I'm going to respond to you. All right? Maybe Ryan, if he came in here and said, listen, I worked, this is my property, and I want it back, I might listen to him. Maybe he could tell me where he got this money from to buy this stuff, and maybe he can establish that it's his stuff. But as between you and her, she's got 2 kids. She says he's in jail, he's going to do 5 years. What her answer says is, whatever stuff is there that is of any value, she plans to sell to support her children, because he certainly isn't going to pay a penny in child support for the next 5 years.
He's supposed to be getting out within the 3 weeks.
Miss Peterson, if that's true, if you say that he's going to get out in 3 weeks, I'm just dying to see him.
Well, that's why I
Let
have
him
a notarized letter, because he can't come.
Well, but you say, listen to me, you say that he's going to be out in 3 weeks.
But it's our property, it's not hers. How
No,
can
it's
she
not
keep our
ours.
stuff?
Listen, let me explain something to you. Ours means that you're married to somebody and that whatever property there is joint property. You are not married to him, right?
Not yet.
Oh, and if you're going to be, that means that, you know, we're going to get her a copy of my second book. Beauty fades, dumb is forever. Miss Peterson, you have no claim as against this property.
So she illegally can go get something that's not hers.
It's not
and
illegal.
Okay.
Just
It's
a
not
second.
illegal.
Just
I have
a second.
a letter of release
It's not
with his
notarized.
signature.
Listen to me.
It
Miss
has
White.
his signature.
Miss White, listen to me. You seem to be winning. What are you arguing with her for?
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Okay, from a legal perspective, I'm not satisfied that this property is yours. It may be Brian's. You say he's going to be out in 3 weeks. She says 5 years. Well, I know where I'm going to be in 3 weeks. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to be in 5 years. But if Brian wants his property and he can establish to me that it's his property and it was gained from some lawful enterprise, I'd be more than happy to entertain his claim. That's one. So your lawsuit has to be dismissed. And if there's any property left once Brian gets out of jail, I'd certainly be delighted. And I look forward to seeing him. Your lawsuit's dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy.
Parties on Graham versus Vitale. Step forward, please.
28-year-old school bus driver Myra Graham claims ex-husband, 29-year-old Carl Vitale, slashed her tires. He says he still loves her, and he didn't do it.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. Your Honor, this is case number 670 on the calendar in the matter of Graham versus Vitale. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Were you married to the defendant?
I was.
For how long?
3 years.
Are you currently divorced?
Yes.
When were you divorced?
1997 of December.
Your lawsuit isn't for a lot of money, but you claim that your former husband slashed your tires.
Yes.
He says he wouldn't dream of doing such a thing. When did this happen?
February 4th.
Tell me about it.
He was mad about a ruling in a prior case.
What kind of ruling?
Paternity.
Of a child that was born during your marriage?
Sometime after the divorce.
There has to be a motive, because I read your papers. You didn't actually see him slash your tire, is that right?
No, I saw him.
You saw him bend down.
I saw him with a box cutter cutting my tires.
Now, that's not what you say, Miss Graham. You say that you saw him bending down and then you saw your tire slashed.
Yes.
So, I want to go back to see if there was a motive for him to slash the tire. Do you understand?
Yes.
So there was a paternity case.
Yes.
Was he adjudicated the father of the child?
No, the judge asked him, did he have money to pay for paternity or a blood test, and he said no, he didn't have any money to pay for it.
So there was never a blood test on this child?
No.
Okay, but did he take you to court or did you take him to court?
He took me to court.
So he wanted to be adjudicated the father of this child?
Yes.
Okay, and you said he was not the father of this child?
Yes.
Now I understand. And the judge did not order blood tests because he did not have any money?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how much after this ruling did this incident occur with your tire?
A month and a half.
Now tell me about it.
Okay, when I came from, I drive a school bus, and when I got done, I walked up the parking lot and I saw him bending down. He had a box cutter and he was cutting the tires. He saw me and he took off.
Could you see him? Were you on the side of the car where the tire was slashed? Or was the car blocking your view?
Where my car was parked, there was no other cars there, so I could see him as I was walking up.
Did you actually see a box cutter in his hand?
Yes.
Did you report this to the police?
Yes, I did.
Do you have the police report?
Yes.
Can I see it, please? Miss Graham, you have an order of protection against him?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
When was that issued?
In December.
Of '98?
Yes.
And what was the basis for that order of protection?
He was stalking me.
May I say something?
Yes.
This whole business about stalking is totally irrelevant. It wasn't stalking. She had been coming over, and the reason why we have a son together is because she kept coming by. I was invited. I would go and see her. She would come see me. It was ongoing. It's been ongoing. Recently, for the past about year and a half, nothing's gone on. I have not been around her place of work. I do have an affidavit that's signed by me and my hairdresser when I was there all day with him. You know, he had many people ahead of me appointments. I just walked in, so I was actually the one to wait. I have this affidavit right here. He signed it. I signed it. Is that admissible?
No.
Okay. One thing I'd like to point out here is she says I did this 2 different times. Okay. She says the same offense that she's blaming me for. She said I did it on the 5th. I don't know where she got the 4th, because on here it says the 5th that I did it. And then on this one, just recently, the 22nd she filed it of March, says that I did it the 28th of January. So now I'm kind of questioning, which day was it?
Well, I'm going to ask the same question of you, Miss Graham, because on this police report you gave me, it said date occurred 1/29/99.
It occurred February 4th.
It's not what I have here.
Miss Graham, are you sure it occurred February 4th?
I'm sure. I had got the dates mixed up because I had an accident, and I just kind of wrote it on my calendar wrong, but it was February 4th.
Well, you told the police in the police report that it occurred January 29th. When did you report it to the police?
As soon as it happened.
You mean that day?
Yes.
Listen to me. January comes before February. Do you understand? You just told me, madam, that the same day that this happened, you reported it to the police. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you reported it on January 29th, and it happened January 29th. Then you told me it happened February 4th, right?
Yes.
So you mean you reported it to the police before it happened?
No.
Do you understand your problem?
Yes.
You just told me that you're absolutely positive that it happened February 4th. The police took the report, said date occurrence January 29th. They would have said to you, madam, How could it have occurred on February 4th? We didn't come to February 4th yet.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She kicked a hole through my door, and then she's saying that I'm stalking her. Give me a break, please.
And later today,
when you travel like we did,
Stop!
This is really important for me to say here.
Was what you're going to tell me that the CDs were all scratched before you took them?
That's correct. When you travel like we
Shut
did.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Myra Graham is suing ex-husband Carl Vitale for her slashed tires.
All right.
Judge?
What?
I would like to be able to, state that this is a case of false decimation. She also destroyed property that belonged to me. She came over to my apartment. She kicked a hole through my door. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then she's saying that I'm stalking her. Give me a break, please, okay? Because I would not do that. I have better things to do with my time. I love her. We have a son together. I wouldn't do nothing to her car because I want my son to have proper transportation. I would not do this to her.
Mr. Vitale, let me suggest this to you, sir. Ms. Graham says that you are not the father of this child. You seem to be convinced that you are the father of this child. I can understand why you would be angry with her if she, in fact, denied that you were the father of a child that was conceived during the time you were married. Now, that doesn't mean she can prove to me that you slashed her tire because she's given, to me, conflicting testimony. She swore she's absolutely positive that this incident occurred on February 4th. Yet she went to the police on January 29th and told them about it.
Yeah.
So that's impossible. Case dismissed.
Well, he's excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He keeps harassing and stalking me and saying we're still married by God's law, and he doesn't want to let it go.
She knows it's our son. She isn't with nobody before or after but me. Whether we're going to be together, her and I, in the end, only God knows that. And he's in control.
And now the next case.
All parties on Falon versus Sherman. Step forward, please.
21-year-old sales clerk Cassandra Falon claims former boyfriend, 24-year-old store supervisor Dean Sherman, borrowed and ruined her CDs. Dean is countersuing for the cost of their weekend getaways.
What kind of business were the two of you involved in?
Traveling sales.
And you traveled together?
With a company, yes.
And you were also involved in a relationship with the defendant, is
Yes,
that right? According to you, you made a series of loans to him on your credit card. Is that
Yes.
right? And in addition, he borrowed some CDs from you and
He didn't borrow them, he took them. but
took
yes.
them and returned them scratched.
Yes.
All right, let's take the CDs first.
Okay.
You took these CDs on the road with you to play?
Yes, they were with me on the road, and we had gone for a vacation to stay with his parents for a week. And so the first night we were there, we went and played bingo with his mother, had a good time, and she said she goes on Wednesdays also. So we had made plans to go with her on that Wednesday. Well, I'm getting ready to go with her. He tells me, well, he was going out with his friends. So I go play bingo with her. I come back, he's gone, my CDs are gone. The next morning when I got out of the shower, he was gone. He went to his friend's house to pick up my CDs. When
you got him back,
I got him back, yes. I listened to him. Every single one of them is scratched, skips, don't play.
Okay. So what did you do after that?
Well, I told him, I said, every single one of these is scratched. I pulled them all out and looked at him, and he said, I said, what happened? At first, he wouldn't tell me. He said, I'll replace them. When finally, every time I asked him, he wouldn't tell me. And finally, he said, well, we were drinking in a field, and they all ended up all over the ground.
Does that sound right?
No, that doesn't sound correct. When you travel like much as this is really important, Judge Judy. This is really important for me.
Just a second.
Okay.
Did you take her CDs when you were going out that evening?
I sure did.
And you went out with your friends?
That's correct.
You were partying, having some drinks?
That's correct, too.
Did you say to her, the CDs ended up on the ground?
I did not say they ended up on the ground.
Did they end up on the ground?
They did not end up on the ground.
That's a lie.
Shh. Where did they end up?
They ended up in a car. They were just in a car with the rest of us. And when you travel like we did, like
Stop!
this is really important for me to say here.
You took the CDs and you would listen to these CDs before, is that right? And there was nothing wrong with the CDs. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, is what you're going to tell me that the CDs were all scratched before you took them?
That's correct. When you travel like we
Shut
did. This is really important for me, Judge Judy. I want to really explain. She lent a lot of her CDs out to a lot of different people all the time.
I want you to be quiet.
Okay.
I don't care whether she lent it out to half the civilized world.
Okay.
The point is, you wouldn't have borrowed these CDs, Mr. Sherman, if they were all scratched and skipped. So the day you borrowed them, they were okay. The day you returned them, they were not okay.
No, that's not true.
Did you have a conversation with her after she listened to the CDs and said to you, they're all scratched and skipped? Do you remember that conversation?
Well, that's kind of ludicrous because basically she didn't have a CD player with her at the time, so I don't see how she could have. And her CD player was also broken at the time.
Go ahead.
Actually, at the time we were using his CD player, and I did have a CD player at the time.
I didn't have a CD player at the time. You're right.
Mr. Sherman, so if you didn't have a CD player and she didn't have a CD player, is that what you're telling me?
That's correct.
How'd you play the CDs?
We had it back on the road because we didn't have it.
How did you play the CDs?
I didn't take my CD player out with me. I did not take it
How?
with me.
So let me ask you a question. Did you borrow the CDs that night to look at them?
No. I borrowed
So you played them?
Of course, in a car.
On what?
In a CD player in a car.
Whose car?
My friend Laura.
Okay. Now, how much are the CDs?
Well, there's 31 of them.
Well, just give me a figure.
$408.
Let me have them, please.
It actually costs more. If you look on this side here, there's one on the end, and then there's one that I slipped in the center that is a good CD, so you can compare what a damaged and a good CD look like.
Your Honor, 75% of those CDs were previously scratched.
Then you shouldn't have taken them, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If I had to spend 8 months on the road with you, I think I would deserve every single penny for every moment that I spent over a dinner table with you.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Cassandra Fallon is suing former boyfriend Dean Sherman for ruining her CDs.
All right. Court believes that you said you were going to replace them, Mr. Sherman. Now let's get on with the next thing. Tell me about these credit cards.
Credit cards, we had gone because he needed a pair of pants. So we went to go buy one, and, you know, they said if you fill out an application, then you'll get 10% off. So I said, okay. I did it. I was approved. And so he went nuts just picking out things. I said, well, we're only going to get the pants that you came for. And he said, well, you know, I have a good job now. I'm going to pay for these. Let's get all this stuff. So I went ahead and in the end and agreed to it. And then about a month later, he wanted to apply for one. He was denied, but then they said that if I co-signed, then he would get approved. So I have the bills from that card and receipts that he signed with his name, and I have it all right here for what was his and what was mine.
All right. Now, Mr. Sherman, you seem to acknowledge, sir, that you used a credit card.
That's
that
correct.
You paid off what was yours on the credit card, and at most you owe her $126.72.
To my figures.
I have a letter right here from him where he itemizes everything he owes
Let me see it.
And it has a
I have one
payment
here, too, for
plan
you.
to what, when he's going to pay it, and he has paid me $150 towards this, what is not in this lawsuit. That is separate. The $255 is the remaining balance.
$254.21.
Correct.
That sound right to you, sir? It's not so different from the $126.72 that you indicate you will still owe her.
Well, I have signatures on my cards right here that I signed too. So I paid off $150 of that. That leaves a balance of $126.72. Now, also, if you look at this piece of paper right here, it also says Cassandra J. Fallon and Dean Fallon. Obviously, my name's not Fallon, and I did sign it Dean Sherman.
I have right here a letter. I tried to get the application, and I have more paperwork from when I went back. I called them. They fixed the mistake. They put his last name in there. I mean, I paid for my stuff. I paid for the clothes he's wearing today. I feel that I should be reimbursed for this. I have this letter where...
You two deserve each other, let me tell you.
All the time when we used to travel, this lady did absolutely nothing. Nothing. She's really, basically, she's lazy. She's really went out and spent loads of money on credit cards, and I supported her. I supported her for 6 months out on.
Aren't you a nice fellow?
What?
Aren't you a nice fellow?
Yeah, I know. I'm a really nice guy.
All right.
Like even say.
Sherman, why did you stop paying her? You were paying her for a period
Because I was
of
getting
time.
harassment, one by her father. I mean, to give you a rough description, I was dropped down in the middle of Houston with $25 in my pocket and told bluntly, find your own way home.
Is that why you stopped paying her, because you got angry with her?
No, basically the concept was, it's just, I consulted several people, even a lawyer, and they told me what you signed for is what you deserve and what she deserves. And after the fact, I started getting harassing phone calls. It was just totally ludicrous.
But you acknowledged, sir, that you owed her, according to you, $126. So my question is...
I owe her $126.
Why did you stop paying her? Harassment would have stopped if you paid her. So why'd you stop for?
Well, blatantly, like I said, it was all going to be worked out, but it was going to be worked out in a different agreement, and this is like basically the way it was going to be worked out right here. And I was going to sign it and date it and everything else along those lines and make a contract with her to pay this amount, X amount of $126 that I still owe her left. But blatantly, you know, harassing phone calls, you know, it's just so harassment.
You're giving me a headache.
I got one.
All right, let me resolve this counterclaim of yours, which I can resolve in 30 seconds, 20 seconds. You filed a ridiculous counterclaim for $2,000 because you say while you were on the road working, I paid well over the above amount in supporting Jennifer's wishes. This includes 4-star meals, hotels, shopping trips, weekend excursions. I feel she should pay her share. After all, we were only boyfriend and girlfriend. Is that the nature of your complaint?
Yeah, it is. When you're on the road, I've been asked numerous times to chip in, and blatantly she even quoted, "Why should I pay anything? You make enough money for both of us."
Well, so then there wasn't a loan.
That's really not a lie. That's actually the blatant truth. I mean, it's.
Shh. Mr. Sherman, I want you to say one whole sentence without the word blatant.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Listen to me, sir. This is a court.
Okay.
This is not a feelings place. Not what you feel she should be responsible for, what you would like her to be responsible for. When there is an agreement, either written or verbal, to repay, that is a contract. You didn't say to her, I'm taking you out for dinner, here's the bill, you owe me half, right?
No, I didn't say that.
Of course not.
But the thing is, I mean, I paid so much for this. I gave this girl everything in the world. I gave her, I mean, you can even question my witness here. I gave this girl everything. I mean, it's so ridiculous. I mean,
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
There's a piece of me that feels as if you're probably a very nice person.
Well, thank you.
But if I had to spend 8 months on the road with you, I think I would deserve every single penny for every moment that I spent over a dinner table with you. You got to learn not to be so hyper, sir. You know, just sort of relax. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.